One of my favorite things to do is introduce a candidate who, on paper, doesn't fit the job. But because we understood what the signal was between the candidate and the client, nonetheless introducing them and the client very glad that they interviewed the candidate, that in any other context, if they would have been screening the resume themselves, they probably wouldn't have interviewed the candidate. I think this is maybe some of the work that makes me proudest is we say, hey, look, we have this candidate. Here's all the reasons why you might not want to interview them, but here's why we think you should. And then to have that proven out to be right. And that's happened quite a few times just from paying attention to, what are the underlying factors to success here. And like you said, when we take a position discovery, like you said, it's an imaginary person that fits this problem. Understanding the problem is more important than the imaginary person. The imaginary person is one variation of a human being that could solve the problem. But in reality, there are many, many permutations. And the broader the leadership capacity is of the client, the more tolerance we're going to have for varying permutations of skill and ability and a contribution for a candidate to come in and be successful for the client.
It's always fun, exhilarating, a little nerve-wracking to start an email with "Hear me out." Although I think because, although this candidate, you know, might on the surface seem not to be a good fit for these reasons that I fully know and acknowledge and own, I think they're worth interviewing because a good recruiter is going to take some risk. They're going to bare their neck a little bit. They're going to go out on some limbs because part of what you're paying for is judgment and insight on their part.